Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Tuesday, September 20th. This is Gina McGuire. Over the next several days, we'll see changes to fire potential across the Great Basin as a strong cold front moves across the area and initially brings gusty winds and dry conditions with low relative humidity to western and parts of central and northern Nevada over the next 2 days. These wind gusts will increase slightly today from what we saw yesterday and increase further on Wednesday. We'll also see significant cooling across the area with temperatures dropping well below normal, along with significant amounts of rainfall, especially over the eastern two-thirds of the Great Basin. This rainfall and cooler temperatures once again across Idaho and Wyoming may bring a season-ending event to that portion of the geographic area. Otherwise, cooler and wet conditions are expected further south. Over the last 24 hours, we've seen only a few light showers and isolated thunderstorms over parts of eastern Idaho into Wyoming, with dry conditions elsewhere. Fire activity has been light across the Great Basin, with most of the fires reported over the eastern side of the area. Over the last 1 to 4 weeks, over the last week we've seen precipitation really over the eastern two-thirds of the Great Basin with the exception of the far south and far western areas. However, over the last 30 days, all the precipitation we have seen over the north and eastern and southern side of the Great Basin has generally been near to below normal, with only some areas of central and northern Nevada up into Idaho that have seen above normal precipitation. How this has affected our fuel conditions: the wet conditions did decrease ERC significantly last week. However, due to recent drying and warming across the area, we've seen ERCs increase to above the 80th percentile in some portions of Utah and Nevada. Therefore, as those winds move in with the dry conditions today over the western areas, we will see that increased fire potential if we see a start for a burning period as the winds remain elevated. Looking at our ERC charts, you can see for parts of western Nevada and for central Utah, ERCs have been increasing and are near or above what we saw in 2012 and are approaching historical maximums for this time of year. However, again, are much lower than what we saw a month ago. Now looking at the water vapor satellite loop from this morning, we have a couple of different features that will affect the area. First, low pressure off the California coast is helping to pull deep tropical moisture north into the Great Basin, which will increase showers and thunderstorms today in the south and eventually spread north as we move through this week. Also, a strong area of low pressure will be dropping south along the west coast, and this will push a cold front through the Great Basin over the next several days. This will initially bring those winds we already mentioned, and also much cooler temperatures and widespread precipitation as the front interacts with this deeper moisture. Now looking at our weather pattern for this afternoon, again as that trough drops south along the west coast, we will see those winds and drier conditions increasing in the west. However, that deeper moisture already starts to move into southern Nevada, the Arizona Strip, and southern Utah, bringing a return of showers and thunderstorms. We also may see a few light showers also over the central Idaho mountains ahead of that front. However, fire potential is low in the north and will be decreasing in the south as that moisture moves up. Today, relative humidity will generally be in the teens across much of the southern half of the Great Basin and a little bit higher as you move further north. Again, the picture on the right shows where those gusty winds will be, and today the winds combined with low relative humidity will generally affect western and northern Nevada with wind gusts around 30 miles per hour. We also may see some stronger gusts over the southern areas, again more associated with thunderstorms with rainfall and higher humidity, and also some gusts over the central Idaho mountains into Wyoming. As we move into Wednesday, that trough really drops south, and this will allow winds to continue increasing over western and northern Nevada, and you can see some dry air also still remaining and punching in over parts of the area as well. So this will actually drop humidities tomorrow over western and northern Nevada temporarily before we see some moisture. It will also help draw that moisture from the south further north across the eastern two-thirds of the area, with rainfall spreading further north. And this will decrease fire potential, but fire potential may still remain elevated on Wednesday across the Sierra Front into northwest Nevada. On Wednesday, again, that lower relative humidity, we may see more single-digit relative humidity briefly over western Nevada tomorrow. Again, much higher relative humidity elsewhere as that moisture spreads north. And the wind picture on the right-hand side shows those gusts increasing on Wednesday, with gusts above 40 miles per hour possible over western and northern Nevada. We also still may see some breezy winds further east, but again, moisture will be increasing. And now the image on the left shows where those showers and thunderstorms will occur on Wednesday, with the best chances of widespread wetting rain being in the areas of dark green over eastern and northeast Nevada up into Idaho and northern Utah. We still may see some areas of blowing dust over western Nevada in the drier areas that see those stronger winds. By Thursday, the trough now pushes over the central portion of the Great Basin, and this will significantly drop temperatures on Thursday to 15 or even 20 degrees below normal in some areas, with highs only reaching the 60s over parts of the northern half of the Great Basin, and even only in the 50s across parts of Idaho. Again, moisture will be in place across the area, with decreasing fire potential in all areas of the Great Basin. The best chances of wetting rains on Thursday will be over the eastern half of the area, and you can see a fairly large area across Idaho, Wyoming, into most of Utah and eastern Nevada, where we'll see those significant wetting rains. Over western sides of Nevada, we will see some light showers, but rainfall amounts will be much less. Also, wind gusts on Thursday will remain strong over much of Nevada into southern Utah, but again, this will be accompanied with increasing humidity and showers. The overall forecast amount of precipitation for the next 3 days is shown here, and you can see significant amounts of precipitation really in most areas over the eastern 2/3 of the Great Basin. Some of these amounts of 3 to 4+ inches may be a little high, but still significant wetting rains will occur. Again, on the western and far southern side of Nevada, those rainfall amounts will be quite a bit less. As we go into Friday into the weekend, the low tracks into the eastern side of the Great Basin on Friday, with still showers over eastern Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah, and drier conditions and warming temperatures moving into the western side of the basin. However, temperatures will still remain below normal, even on the west side, with low fire potential in most areas. On Saturday, the strong ridge of high pressure builds off the west coast, so this will allow drier conditions to push across most of the area, again with warming temperatures. As we go through Sunday and Monday, this ridge continues to build and move eastward, with again temperatures increasing to above normal, and we will see those drier conditions, especially on the western and central portion of Nevada that may not see as much rainfall. We will see fire potential back into the low to moderate range with brown areas for dryness levels. However, areas further east will take a much longer time to recover after the moisture. This is the overall amount of precipitation for the next 7 days. Again, this includes what we'll see in the next 3 days, which is really where most of that moisture will come from, but we will see additional showers on Friday into Saturday over parts of the eastern half of the Great Basin. If we look a little bit further ahead into the first week of October, we still see chances for below normal temperatures and some moisture over parts of Idaho and Wyoming as those troughs and cold fronts move through from the north, but still warmer and drier over parts of southern and western sides of the Great Basin. That concludes our briefing for today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you for listening.